everyone, it's Reagan and welcome to the start of another reading vlog. So it's Monday and it's not just any Monday, it's the first Monday of March, which I don't know, there's something about a new TBR and a new reading month that always gets me really jazzed. I'm also particularly excited about my month's TBR. I'm kind of going back to my roots. I have been craving fantasy. I've been reading kind of a little more broadly these past few months, sci-fi, some historical fiction, but I really just want to hunker down this month and read as much fantasy as possible, basically. With that in mind, I'm actually super excited about my TBR for this video. So without further ado, let's chat about the books. So here they are. The primary book I plan to read for this vlog is Salen Ascends by Josiah Bancroft. Ever since I heard about this book and ever since I picked it up, it has been calling my name. It sounds weird and very literary fantasy and just like everything I will love. And it basically follows our main character, Thomas Senlin, who is very mild-mannered. He likes an ordinary life, and he likes to keep all of his adventures contained within the pages of the books he's reading. But then on his honeymoon with his wife, she's stolen, and he has to like enter this tower called the Tower of Babel, and he has to like, I don't know, do all sorts of wild things from there. It sounds super weird and just very, very interesting, and I'm excited to hopefully read just about this whole thing this week. And then the other book I have to mention is Words of Radiance. I was not going to include this in this vlog because I always feel like I include the Stormlight Archives kind of in every vlog because I'm doing a reread, but full transparency, I can't stop reading this book right now. Words of Radiance has completely sucked me in. It's all I'm thinking about. It's all I want to do. I want to read it, and therefore it's gotta be included because I can't not read this book for 4 days, basically is what I'm saying. So I'm also going to be reading a few chapters of this throughout the week, maybe more, maybe less, we'll see. But oh my gosh, Words of Radiance after the end of Way of Kings is just so good. I just want everyone to read the Stormlight Archives, but I am loving the pacing of this and the character interactions, everything. I forgot how much I love this book. So these are the two books I'm going to read. I feel like it's going to hopefully be 2 home runs. I don't know. This one I have very high expectations for, so we'll see if it's able to live up to those. But welcome to the start of the vlog. Here are the books. Fantasy for Life. I have a little bit of work to finish up now, and then I'm going to heat up dinner. I made a delicious curry last night, so I don't have to do any cooking tonight, which is always the best. I'm watching a K-drama, so this is just going to be a classic, typical reading, relaxation, cooking vlog. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. Matilda's over there lounging, and I'm going to be joining her soon. But yeah, those are the books. Welcome to the vlog. Let's get started. I wanted to show off my outfit. Hi Clay. Hi Matilda. Matilda thinks getting ready to go to the bathroom in the evening is chase. But anyway, I was here because I wanted to show off my outfit. T-shirt, trousers, these are from Madewell. They're mostly sold out, but I'll see if I can find them. And then this is an old t-shirt too. Sorry, but I liked it. I felt very trendy. I felt very like woohoo. Trendy. I don't know what I'm saying. Hello, I'm in pajamas, which is one of the main reasons why I wanted to show off my outfit. But rice is cooking, and then I'm just gonna heat up some of the curry I made on the stove and eat. But I've officially finished work, and then I spent an hour spiraling and buying a bunch of planner things. I bought stickers and pens and highlighters. I have been like researching and trying to, I just want to try to get into written planning because I think I would like it and I think it would be good for my brain. So I've been researching for like months what I want to do, and I finally just did it this evening. I'll share more like once it arrives and once I get the system set up, because I don't want to lead anyone astray on accident, and obviously everyone plans differently. I'm like a weekly planner personally. Anyway, I'm rambling, but I'm really jazzed that it's finally on its way to me. But now I'm just gonna hang out with Matilda. I think I'm gonna watch some K-drama while the rice cooks, but just wanted to let you know I'm finished with work, and I will be definitely reading soon. Matilda being just absolutely savage. Hi, so I am going to sit down and do some reading while I wait for the rice to cook and just dinner, you know, getting itself together. And like I kind of felt like I was going to do, which is why I included it on my TBR in the first place. I'm gonna start with Words of Radiance because I just can't get it out of my head. All of my Stormlight Archive fangirls out there know it's just so good. And I feel like the second one especially is just pulling me in so quickly. I mean, Way of Kings ended so explosively, and then it's just really satisfying right away in Words of Radiance because one, I feel like through the POVs, you're starting to get more connection between everyone. You're beginning to learn a little bit more about the Knights Radiance and sort of this mysterious past. And then personally too, I just really like Kaladin and Shallan's chapters. And Shallan, I'm just gonna call her Shallan. I really enjoy Shallan's chapters for a lot of reasons. One of them being she's a scholar in this world. So I kind of like how she approaches problems and issues, and I just feel like she is a very unique POV, as a lot of the other characters are kind of more soldier, very war focused, and I feel like she provides kind of a breath of fresh air, kind of how she approaches things. And then Kaladin is so grumpy, I can't help but to stan. And I just, again, like how there are more connections and we're just learning more, and it just gets so addicting. Like the wheel turns slowly in Way of Kings and it's slowly picking up speed, and I just can't put it down. And it's just so much fun to reread just because, I don't know, I love all these characters and I love this world, and I'm just excited to be here, you know? So that's my Stormlight Archives fangirl moment, but it's just so satisfying. Brandon Sanderson just makes such satisfying plots. Like, Way of Kings was epic. The ending, everything was epic, and now, it's just amazing. Anyway, so I'm on page 400 right now, so I'm gonna try to read like 50 or 60 pages of this tonight, and then I promise I will shift books to a new book, a first book in a series, and I won't try to harp on too much of the Stormlight Archives, but like, guys, you gotta check this series out. It's so approachable, like it's so character focused while also being like so large in plot. You'll fall in love, I promise. Curry is heated up. I have my book because I'm going to read while I eat. I am also hyper-focused on a romance that hasn't even begun to be hinted at in this book yet, but I recall it from my last reread, or rather my last read, and it didn't even happen through Oathbringer, but I am heavily invested in my ship currently. All right, taking a reading break because Monica and I are watching a K-drama together. We finished True Beauty, which I documented. Oh goodness. You can use your phone as a remote if anyone was wondering what I was doing. But we finished True Beauty and now we've started Itaewon Class. I think I'm saying that wrong, but I'm really excited because I love the main actor. And so far it's incredibly intense, but we are on episode 4. So that is what I'm gonna do now, and then I will get back to reading because I cannot put down Words of Radiance. Itaewon Class is literally so stressful. Isn't that right, Matilda? Millie. So stressful. Hi, so I'm finally sitting down to read. I got sucked into TikTok for a second, calling it research, but I'm going to read now. I promise I'm gonna start the other book tomorrow, but I just have to read more Words of Radiance. I can't stop. But yes, good night. I will check in the morning. I've read 70 pages so far this evening, and I'm definitely going to read more, so I feel like I'm off to a good start in terms of kind of kicking off my reading week well. But again, I promise to start the other book tomorrow. I will step away from Kaladin. I will step away. Hello everyone, cheers, good morning. Thought I would embrace spring a bit today, even though it's 20 degrees outside, with this cute little pinky striped shirt and a cardi. Got my coffee. I do need to get to work over there, but I just wanted to say hello. I read 120 pages yesterday. Words of Radiance is so fire. But I am switching books as I promised. Hello, it's time for a morning snack of bananas and strawberries. My favorite combo. All right, folks, time for lunch. It's the classic combo of a grilled cheese and Campbell's tomato soup. I'm a tomato soup lover myself, but really there's nothing quite as good as just a can of tomato soup with milk. But I mean, I'm not gonna say no to any tomato soup, but there's something so delicious about this combination. I could write a song to it. A bad one, but I could. Paused my Discover Weekly, but boom. Pal's mug. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat this. Matilda is so cool. Do you wanna go do some kick flips, Matilda? Why is this so funny? Hi everyone, so I've officially wrapped up work and I'm actually gonna start dinner right now. But I also wanted to share that I've read 200 pages of Words of Radiance. Between tonight and today, I did read a bit at lunch. I just cannot help myself with that book. But as I said, I am switching books tonight. But let it be known, Words of Radiance is so addicting. I don't particularly want to stop. It's just coming together, like you kind of fall in love and get to know the characters in the first book, but then you really begin to fall in love with them in the second book and all the connections begin to be made. And there's also a bit more insight into some of the behind the scenes evil politics, I guess, that aren't like so obvious of like a clash on a battlefield, which kind of was more in the Way of Kings. Like you have that, but it's expanding to see some more shadowy figures in the background, and it's just so interesting. Press, as I said, Kaladin, Shallan, I live for them together, separately, with other characters. I'm just here for it all. But I'm gonna start dinner now. I'm actually gonna show you what I'm making. So tonight I'm making the cheesy tomatillo enchiladas from Blue Apron. Full transparency, I have been a Blue Apron partner and they are a sponsor of a future video. This is not sponsored by them, but I've just been using their service now for about a month and I am in love. It's, I don't know, the recipes are really kind of like a little more unique and challenging, and I really find that the ingredients are really fresh and everything I've made has been delicious. So I wanted to give them a quick little shout out, but mostly because I'm also just making this for dinner. So let's get started. I was personally really excited about this recipe because it has a squash I've never cooked with before. But also has like a bunch of other ingredients that I really, really love. So basically just like squash, spinach, rice filling with a bunch of seasonings and then cheese, and then put it in the oven. Should be good. Filling looks like this after it's all combined, and now I just add cheese and then the tomatillo sauce, and obviously turn them into enchiladas, but I don't know, it smells really good. And just like that, ready to go in. Oh, it's hot. All right, time to cook. All right, dinner is served. Grabbed hot sauce, obviously, and I'm going to watch some of my current K-drama, which is Romance is a Bonus Book, which I don't know if I already mentioned in this vlog, but I started this like a year ago and I never finished it, so we're back. Hi world, so I got a bit distracted after dinner curating my TikTok feed so it would only show me anime and K-drama related TikTok, so I had a lot of likes to do, a lot of hashtags to follow, but now I am actually going to do a bit of K-drama watching, if I'm being honest, but I also have my book, Sailin' Ascends, which I'm going to start tonight. I've already read 200 pages, and it's only Tuesday, so I'm obviously pleased with how much I've been able to read, and I am hoping to read about 50 or 60 pages of this tonight, and finally begin another book outside of Words of Radiance, which is just taking over my life, it feels like. But I really do feel like I'm gonna love this, so I'm looking forward to sharing my thoughts and feelings. But first, K-dramas. Matilda is extra comfy, but K-dramas are consumed. And friends, I am officially starting this book. Hey everyone, so I've read 40 pages of Sailin' Ascends, and I'm really happy to say it is at least starting out exactly what I was hoping it would be. The writing style, just the quality, the writing style, the narrative quality, like every aspect of, again, just the first 40 pages was kind of the vibe I was hoping for. And that is a sort of whimsical, bizarre fantasy story with a very peculiar and specific main character going on a quest. That's just one that's going to be unusual and kind of catching me by surprise, and just sort of, again, whimsical, I think is the best way to describe it. Sort of this classic sort of writing style and quality to it, And it basically, again, opens with our main character Senlin arriving to this Tower of Babel with his new wife. And it has been his dream his whole life to travel to this tower to experience it, as it's like, it took 1,000 years to construct, and there's just thousands upon thousands of people, and there's like different floors that have different purposes. So they go there for their honeymoon, and on the first day, he loses his wife. And then that kind of starts the book, and I think we're going to experience this tower through our main character, and I feel like I'm gonna really enjoy his point of view because he is so, again, specific. Like, he has a very rigid view of the world and like how he himself acts, and he's very serious. So I think watching him kind of have to confront a lot of unusual circumstances and have to adapt, likely, will make him a very rootable main character, is I guess what I'm trying to say. But I'm really pleased to see that the sort of writing style and just the air of the story so far is exactly what I was hoping would be. Weird and literary and just, I don't know, like really imaginative. It kind of pulls me in. This sort of quality of story is one that I tend to really enjoy. So 40 pages read. I'm gonna probably read like another 10 to 15 and then go to bed, but definitely a good start. It's unusual. It's bizarre. Just like the whole idea that this merchant area is so large that if you lose the person you're with, it might be years for you to encounter them again. Because it's constantly changing, and there's just hundreds of thousands of people like rotating in and out, and there's like no way or no landmarks to basically find them again. So they're just lost. But anyway, it's great. I'm gonna keep reading. Cheers, everyone. A quick good morning. Clay's on a call, so I just wanted to say I'm up, I'm awake, I got dressed, I'm wearing jeans. It's Wednesday. Leftover rice means only one thing: fried rice for lunch. Obviously there's no rice in here yet, but veggies first. Yum. Hello world, it is like 7:20. I just wrapped up work for the evening. And I'm actually gonna start dinner here soon because I'm pretty hungry, but I wanted to do a bit of reading. I'm sorry I haven't checked in. It was a bit of a chaotic day. And I also spilled coffee all over the coffee table and got a little bit of this book covered in coffee. So a little tragedy, but it's fine. We're moving on from it, but I'm gonna sit down and read more because, as I kind of mentioned last night, I'm really liking it. Again, it's like way early on in this book. I can't really speak to the overall like plot or pacing, but the writing style and the quality of the story has immediately pulled me in. It's exactly what I was hoping it would be. So I'm looking forward to see our main character confront all sorts of trials and tribulations. So I'm gonna do a bit of reading now, and then I'm definitely gonna watch some K-dramas. I'm making pasta tonight, which is always my favorite. But yeah, that is the plan. Clay and I both have our sweatshirts on. We're matching. Let me bother him. He's matching. We're matching. We're matching. Anyway, I'm gonna read. Hello. So I've successfully read to page 80 of Senlin Ascends, and great news, the plot is definitely thickening and it's getting really interesting. So far we've entered the tower at like the ground floor, and the idea is that he will move up and up and up, and I'm assuming he's gonna try to get to the very tippy top. It's really an interesting world because the tower is ginormous and full of so many people, and therefore like it's not even just each floor has its own personality, but like every floor could have its own multiple governments, its own rules for how it exists. And I just feel like as we continue to ascend through this tower, we're gonna encounter so much. I also feel like the author does a really great job of balancing present and past. We kind of jump to Senlin's current reality, which is trying to get his wife back, and he's in this wild tower where everything is just flying at him. It's going 100 miles per hour. But then we also go back to his more like quiet life and kind of how like both his job and also how he ultimately got married to his wife and like their relationship. Again, I'm really intrigued by the story so far. It's really quirky and I love it for that. I also have a feeling it's gonna be pretty dark too, which I feel like meshes really well with like quirkiness, especially in like adult fantasy. I'm thinking like Neverwhere is a good example. I really like that book by Neil Gaiman, and this is very different but in some ways reminiscent of each other. So anyway, I'm definitely gonna read more of it tonight, but I'm going to make dinner. As I said, it's pasta, so we're gonna get started. So for dinner, I'm making this pasta. It's like sausage, and it's exciting because it came with like fresh pasta. But yeah, I'm just prepping the ingredients. Kale, called for 2 cloves of garlic. Obviously that means I've used 4, but I think this is a pretty quick one, so I'm looking forward to it. Mostly because, you know, pasta's delicious. I won't lie, I haven't done any check-ins because I've been really into my playlist, but cooking that, about to combine them together. Ooh, sizzling over here. But anyway, almost done. And just like that, with copious amounts of Parmesan, we're ready to eat. Did Clay bring over all of your things? Do you have just a bowl of your bones? Were you just sleeping? She's gone full lounge, everyone. Come on, Millie, let's go watch K-dramas in the bedroom. Grab one of your bones. Let's go. Matilda and I doing our usual shenanigans. Hello, I've turned off my K-drama, and yes, I'm watching a 3rd K-drama. I don't know, I can't really make up my mind. But now I am going to read Senlin Ascends. So as I said, I've already read 80 pages. I'm gonna try to get to like the 130-page mark tonight, and then definitely focus my attention on reading more intentionally tomorrow. I feel like the night has just gotten away from me these past 2 nights. I blame TikTok entirely. I do not know what's going on, but tomorrow I am locking my phone up somewhere and keeping it very far out of reach so I can get more reading done. Granted, I will say, like, once I pick up Senlin Ascends, I don't want to put it down. Like, I'm engaged in the story right away, and I'm just really curious to see how this is going to continue to, I don't know, move along. It's also really cheeky. At the beginning of each chapter, there's like an excerpt from like this field guide our main character read about the tower before he arrived, because he's always been fascinated by this particular destination. His dream was to always travel there, so he thought he was very prepared arriving because of this field guide. And it's just funny because those little snippets really contrast the reality of the situation he's in, and it's just satisfying in that way. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, I'm really liking it. I'm definitely going to read more. I've read about 300 pages already, so if I get to the 120 page mark, then I definitely feel like I can read over 500 pages over the course of this work week, even though my mobile phone time too high, drastically too high. But yeah, time to read. Cheers, friends. Good sort of late morning, but I wanted to show you, hello, I got dressed into like non-jeans and non-sweatpants, so that's new. I did stay up late last night reading. I am loving Senlin Ascends. I'm definitely hoping to read a bunch today because I do want to cross the 500 page mark, but I only need to read about 180 pages. I'm definitely going to read at lunch, so I'll do a bit of a check-in in a bit, but I just want to say hello, show off my outfit, say hello, which I already said. Anyway, bye. Exciting lunch things are happening, late lunch. I'm listening to Hayley Williams. We got fresh, crusty bread for good toast, bacon, toasting, well, the bread, I said toast, you get what I mean. And I'm about to make some eggs because it's breakfast for lunch, everyone. And we're done, folks. He was embarrassed, he was dancing.
I'm gonna wear this sweater every single day of the vlog.
It is afternoon coffee time, and I'm gonna also, hello Matilda, give you guys a bit of a reading update. So let's have a coffee chat over here, shall we? But we'll have a bit of a coffee break because I wanted to check in about Senlin Ascends, which I am now on page 170, and I am loving this book. Okay, so it's delivering everything I wanted it to, which was a sort of weird fantasy setting, this sort of unusual tower, all of that, it's there. But as the story progressed, there's a level of intensity and darkness I wasn't really expecting. And then as well, the characters, both Senlin and also his relationship with his wife, Marthia, I'm like falling in love with. But let's back it up a bit. So 170 pages in, I'm about halfway through. And so far we've followed Senlin as he's kind of been on the ground level, the first level, and then the second level. And what's so wonderful about this book is just, for one, each level has its own very distinct vibe, and they're all very intense for different reasons. Particularly the parlor level boggled my mind, but with each floor it feels like a very unique journey. Not only is Senlin facing like new tasks, new issues, he's also in a way linking up with a new person who's also on their own individual unique journey and have their own life story, all of these things. And they might be a good person or they might be a bad person. It's very hard to discern, and that's part of Senlin's problem in and in itself. Like, can he trust this person? Because having a companion for some of these tasks that he has to do proves to be more helpful, but it's always a risk. And also just provides kind of this really interesting kind of rotating cast of characters as we follow Senlin on his journey. So that element has been fascinating. And again, just the care and attention and the writing of all of these floors, they're like whimsical, but it's dark and very, very, very intense. And just the craft that the author has taken to kind of construct this fictional tower, amazing. On top of that, I am falling in love with Senlin as a main character, as well as I'm like totally bought in on his urgency to find his wife. For some reason, picking up this book, I wasn't really expecting to like love the characters. I thought I would care more about the setting and sort of the vibe of it all. Really staring at me. But I mean, Senlin as a main character, he's actually very easy to root for. Very specific person. Like, he knows his strengths, he knows his weaknesses, but he's willing to kind of push himself outside of his comfort zone to help find his wife. And again, interspersed between the chapters of him in the tower, we get flashbacks of him and his wife, both in kind of the early parts of their relationship and then as it's progressed. And you quickly fall in love with Marthia and how they kind of work together. They complement each other so beautifully, but you quickly realize that like the love and the feeling that exists between these two people is so real and genuine that now all of a sudden you're so invested in his story to find his wife. For some reason, when I picked this book up, I knew he was getting married. I knew he was on his honeymoon, but I thought it would just be kind of a throwaway plot device, kind of a means to the story existing. But it's so much more than that, and it really provides the story with a lot of heart and honestly a lot of heartbreak, because you're so nervous about what is happening, because you're seeing what's happening to Senlin. Who knows what's happening to Marthia as they're both just trying to survive this tower, and hopefully, you know, them finding their way back to each other. But yeah, this book is amazing, and its atmosphere and its weirdness and its creativity in terms of like the fantasy plotline and setting, it's so unusual. This would be an incredible animated film, but also the characters, the writing style, even the believability of the stakes as well just creates a really fascinating book and story. And each level is so distinct, and the visual quality of the writing is just impeccable. I feel like this is quite the ramble, but I am just so pleased with this reading experience so far. And this in itself is just a type of book and story that I love. Like, I'm a sucker for something like this. It's weird, but it has a lot of heart, and just it's great so far. So I'm definitely going to read more. I'm hoping to get to at least page 300 tonight, so I'll have read 500 pages, but I didn't drink a sip of coffee during this coffee break. But I just wanted to update you guys and let you know where I'm at with this. After all, this is a reading vlog. Hello world, I finished up, whoa, the sass. Anyway, I finished up work. Watched an episode of a K-drama, I'm not gonna lie. But now I'm going to make some instant ramen for dinner. I've been very diligent with cooking, both for lunch and dinner, these past 4 days, that I don't want to be anymore. So I have quite a few instant ramens, thanks to Clay. But I think I'm just gonna go with a gourmet spicy Shin Rae-moon ramen. I don't know, for dinner tonight, and it's gonna be so good. I'm gonna add an egg to it, and then I'm gonna watch more K-dramas. I started a show, Her Private Life, and it has fake dating, and it's just so entertaining. I'm having a great time, but obviously I do plan to read more Senlin Ascends because it's amazing. It's such a great book, exactly what I wanted and more. So that's overall my plan for the evening. Not much, nothing new over here on Prue's project, just eating more instant ramen, watching more K-dramas, and reading more fantasy. But you know, that's my life. Anyway, I'm gonna start this ramen. Boop. foggy camera. Perfection, everyone. Perfection. Living my best Thursday life, everyone. I'm about to start reading, but Matilda and I just be vibing. It's me. I finally stopped watching television. Surprise. And I actually have been doing a bit of reading, and I'm going to do a bit more. Again, my goal is to get to page 200 of Senlin Ascends, and I got to the next part 3 of this book, and something I just really appreciate, and I feel like this is like a love song to this book, but it's really living up to all the hype I wanted it to. Like, in my head, I really built this book up, but something I really appreciate too, like in its whimsicalness, like it has such a great writing style, yes, all of that, is like, it's not like one note of whimsy. Each floor, each section of this tower, each part of the story that we experience with Senlin has such a unique quality to it. Not only like the vibe, the atmosphere, the quality of the location in which he's at, but also the like trials and tribulations he goes through can like seesaw back and forth to all these different types of obstacles that you might encounter in like a fantastical story, mystery, adventure type book. It's like he's getting all of these different versions of a adventure kind of mashed together into this super accelerated experience that's also, again, very dark. I feel like this book does a really great job of combining and I guess rooting us in a realism of like, this is not fun. Like, what's going on is not great, but at the same time you can see why this location has such a huge reputation and why it's been transformed and romanticized for people who haven't experienced it, because it does sound just so wondrous and out of this world, but then you go and you're like, wait, maybe not for me. But yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I just love the characters, the setting. I just have a feeling, guys, I'm gonna be marathoning this entire series this year. 4th one comes out, I think, later this year, so I don't know. It's all great. It's all gravy. But I'm gonna read more now. And I don't know if I'll check in more tonight because I don't know if I'll have anything new to say necessarily, aside from the fact that this book is all of my favorite kinds of weird, basically. In summary, this vlog is, I really loved this book, and it was weird, and it was great. Hi everyone, it's Reagan, and welcome to the end of the vlog. The next day, I just wanted to quickly pop in and wrap up everything I was able to read this vlog because, wow, I loved everything. So obviously, first and foremost, I did read 200 pages of The Words of Radiance, or Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson, and I am in love. I'm in love with this book, and I'm so excited to continue reading and then hopefully jump into Oathbringer later this month. But my Stormlight Archives reread is going amazing. I just love these stories so much, and I don't know, every time I encounter these characters, I just immediately fall in love with them. And then I'm also happy to report I did read 300 pages of Senlin Ascends, and this is amazing. This book met and so far has exceeded all of my expectations, which going in were very, very high. I love the world, I love the writing, I love the characters. It's imaginative, it's weird, it's dark, it's impeccable, and I just am really liking this so much and would not recommend this book more. So I would say all in all, a very successful reading vlog. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you soon with another video soon. Goodbye.